Hey everybody. Um, I wanted to spend a little time and talk to you guys today about Microsoft Word. Now, Microsoft Word is not one of my favorite programs, not as great as Excel by any means. But one of the things that we're going to do in this class is we're going to write a report, right? And part of that report, part of what we're going to need in the report is we're going to need some equations. So I need to go ahead and show you guys how to put some equations in. One of the issues with the equations is that I was not able to get this equation editor to work from the online Microsoft Word. You do have up to 5 downloads of Microsoft Word. Let me show you where that is. If you if you log in sorry, I'll show you exactly how I got here, right? I'm from the login screen. I'm logging into my email. And when this opens, I've already logged in. It knows me. You see, I get to this Office 365. You do have this option to install um, Microsoft Word and Excel. You could also change in what you install, but this way you could have Word and Excel directly on your desktop. It might be really, really nice for this class. Okay, so that's how you get it. This is a large download. It will take you some time to download it. Okay, so here I am. I'm in Word. Word is on my desktop. I'm not using a web version. But you guys have played with Microsoft Word at some point in your life. I know you had to write a paper at some point, right? And we're going to write a report in this class. So, I should have a title and all that stuff. Um, but I don't because I'm being lazy and I really just want to show you guys about how to do equations. Okay, so the equation tab actually falls under the insert. And then if you look across here, I have the symbols. And I'm actually going to use the equations. When I clicked on that, let me do it again. When I clicked on this pi right here, it just gave me an equation bar here. And it says type equation here. So this gave me a centered equation. Sometimes this is called a displayed equation, and it has a justification, centered, and group. I could also do this inline equation. This would be like surrounded by typing. So, if you wanted to say something like P equals 1/2, notice it changed that to be the fraction. So that's kind of cool, right? And then to get around it here, I'm going to say like my proportion is P equals 1/2. So there you go. I wrote that equation inline. Of course, the interesting part, and when we have more complicated equations, we're going to want them outline. We're going to want them display style. So, maybe I want to do something here like P equals, and then I can make a really complicated one. So let's do P sub 1 times N sub 1. Now I know some of the keyboard shortcuts. If you notice here, I used a sub, a little underscore, and that gave me lower. And I'm just hitting the space bar to get it to go to that. And then let's do P sub 2, N sub 2, and then let's divide all of that by N sub 1 plus N sub 2. That wasn't quite what I wanted, was it? If you notice here, I really wanted that up here in this equation. So I did a copy and paste there. I'm cheating here along the way, guys, because I know how to do these without the keyboard, on the keyboard, right? But there's also up above here, there's palettes. So, if I want to do P equals, I could go ahead and do my fraction right away, and then I could start putting in the stuff. So just because I know my keyboard shortcuts doesn't mean you have to. I'm just doing that same equation, but giving you guys the idea here. This, by the way, this is the equation for our pooled proportion. There you go. So that was using the palette. The palettes are easier as you're first getting started. And then if you start to learn some of these different things, you don't actually need the palettes. Let's do one with a square root. So that's the radical here. And then the SE that I'm going to do actually has a fraction inside the square root. So it gets pretty hairy there. But I'm just using the keys to move around. There you go. There's my SE. Oops. Let's see. I don't like that the way that looks. So I'm just going to do that. I just did delete and put that in there. Hit enter and that doesn't work. Oop, I deleted everything, huh? Okay, sometimes I have issue with this too. It's good to see me having issue with it, right? I'm not the only one. So if I use the arrow keys and I get out of the equation, there we go, I can hit enter. Let's see, any other equations that I should typeset? Let's do one more. Let's do one of the confidence intervals. So on the confidence interval, we normally do something like p hat. So I'm looking up here for a hat, right? Those are operators. Accents. So there's a p hat somewhere on here. Let's see, that's a tilde, right? Here's a bar. We use X bar a lot, right? Oh, there's the hat. There's the hat. So I just click on that little box and I put the P. So there's my P hats. And then let's do a plus or minus. To do a plus or minus, let's see. Where is the plus or minus? Maybe the function? No, brackets. Operators. But you guys see there's lots of different ways. Hey, there's the plus or minus. So there must be some way to do it, right? Let's see. I'll find it eventually here, guys. Oh, you know what? It's right here. There were some common equations there. So there's some common things that we might use. Fahrenheit, Celsius, radicals, minus, plus, approximately, up there. Sorry, I just need to look for it, right? I want to do a Z star here. To do a power, I actually just do that caret, and it takes that thing up there. Let me do that again. So Z caret, that's shift 6, and then I use the star, that made Z star, and I'm multiplied by the SE. That's my equation for a confidence interval. Okay, well, I hope this gives you guys an idea on how to typeset equations. Again, to get into the equation editor, you go to Insert and Insert Equation. There's some common equations here, and then there's just Insert New Equation. It'll give you a taskbar here with different options. Some different fractions and radicals and different things that you can use. This does take a little bit to get used to, but if you practice hard, you guys can get it. All right, keep working hard.